The time is moved now to 14 hours. We are here on the hot set. We've got remaining 12 minutes. Of course, we're dealing with housing. And I've got in studio, in case you just joined us, Mr. Remington Nelson, who is the personal assistant to the minister within the Ministry of Communities, that's who's responsible for housing, Valerie Patterson. And we having an interesting conversation. Just before the break, we were talking about certain perceptions of how things are and what they should be when it relates to squatting and moving persons off. And Mr. Nelson, you had a very heated point that you wanted to bring out to what I said, so I'm going to give you the chance to go with that.
Sure, thank you. It should be stated that at present we have a monitoring system in place where we are, because the minister has said, no new squatting anywhere will be encouraged, will be allowed. Any new structures will be demolished forthwith, immediately. So we are monitoring, we have teams, and even with assistance from the community. I said earlier, and I like to emphasize this because I believe that it's part of what makes a society strong. That I talk about with accidents. The police cannot be everywhere. So if I'm in the minibus and the minibus driver is doing dumbness, excuse my word, then the passengers in the bus ought to speak up. So we have
coming here, put on the bus, they can go.
Listen,
the
commuters.
No, we understand the mentality.
Yeah, no, but the commuters are the employers. So if everybody walks off the bus, I bet you they're going to change. But maybe we can talk about that another time. So people are calling and providing information. Our team went into the area to assess this situation, and they were violently chased out of the area.
So that means y'all ain't got the resources to deal with.
But we didn't have then, but those resources are being improved as we speak. But the reason I brought that up is to say, you know what we may say, okay, some leader or these leaders may have contributed. Of course, no, but people are sort of the same people who are complaining about not being able to have certain services, and the same people are contributing to the crisis. So I'm saying it calls for both government's response, and as well as the citizen. We ourselves, we have to work toward getting the kind of country that we expect or we want to leave to bequeath to our offspring. So no new squatting will be encouraged. Squatters who have applications in the systems will be given priority when land and housing solution initiatives become available. So there is that work toward, those efforts toward regularizing and changing the face of squatting.
I gotta say, my friend was smart. He put an application in the system, went and squat. So
yeah, but
he's got something in his system.
No, but he's not going to. But he's not going to be given
prioritized.
Yeah, prioritized. But he's not going to be given that lot that he's on because.
No, they know this.
They
know this.
But there's some people who believe that if they go and they squat on a plot of land, that they're going to force the government's hand. I have news for them. That's not so.
The chairman of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, which falls under the Ministry of Communities, that's currently Mr. Hamilton Green. Sometime it was, I believe, coming to the end of 2015 into 2016, they did make an unprecedented move in terms of putting a pause or halt on the turnkey homes because when some investigations were done, it was deemed as not being done to the structural standards that it should have been done. And did say that the onus is on CH&PA to make sure that they fix these homes before citizens purchase it. Which of course was considered a big move, and kudos to the administration of housing in terms of looking out for people. One of the things that people would like to know, so when you did talk about ideally developing a plot of land and preparing it for a housing drive, how long does it take before, after a person would have paid for a house lot, and let's say you would have had payments for a particular area, how long does it take for the basic necessities to be put in place as persons prepare to build?
I can't give you an answer in timing, by the way you framed the question. But what I can tell you for this year coming up, but before the actual pause on the turnkey program was not so 2015, right? But so there were at the time at the commencement of last year, there were some 141 houses to be completed. At the end of December, that's 2016, a total of, so there were 59 plus 141, right? A total of 160 families, or 160 units were completed, repaired. So 160 families were able to access their homes. So to the question of that you asked, right, what I can tell you is that so for this fiscal year, it's $8 billion. I need to correct what I said earlier. $8 billion will be spent on improving infrastructure. Some rollover programs. So some programs are based on the magnitude of the program. The time is determined by the size of the magnitude of the work. So 2.3 billion will be spent on projects. These are ongoing infrastructure works in regions 3, 4, 5, and 6. 471 million on electrical program, 1.6 billion on new infrastructure development and housing pilot for the first phase of infrastructure development works. These are the townhouses and single flat houses in regions 3, 4, and 10. What I can also say in terms of timing is that the word from the minister's desk is that we are hoping to be able, at least construction on the townhouses should commence bordering by the end of the first quarter, thereabouts. Something I should mention within the 12 minutes we have is that the ministry will be hosting a Housing Solutions 27 and Beyond exhibition where full-scale models, or houses, samples of the houses that the Housing Solutions would be constructed in a model village. We call it, this is going to be in Perseverance in the East Bank, sometime in May. So persons will get an opportunity to go to the houses, see what they look like. It's going to run for about 5 days. And as a matter of fact, those houses will be also up for sale when that time comes. So that will highlight the government's program going forward, again, 2017 and forward and beyond.
Currently, what's the cost of something, or the proposed cost of a unit like this? That's one. And two, what is the average cost for house lots that persons apply for, and how is that cost determined?
All right. So these are the costs that I'm aware of. There's low income. This is 100 to 200,000. That is. And in each case, there's an additional $11,000, $3,000 for identification of the plot of land, and $8,000 for the conveyance fee, that is the preparation of the title / transport. There's moderate income, 300 to 450,000. Then middle income is from 500,000 to 900,000, and then the high income from 1.2 million. The highest I've seen is 4.5 million, I think. That's outside of the migrant scheme, which those lots were higher. Some of the factors going to the cost. One I'm aware of is the size of the land. Now, I should say this. I don't know if people know this. For example, during last year, as we were doing allocations, and people would come and ask, why the land going up? And they want a reduction in the price and so on. housing in Ghana is subsidized.
Salaries are not.
That one is too hot.
No, we deal with those economic. I think what I wanted to get at, really, why I did ask you that question is, you see, the thing for most people when it comes to this is, why is it that you've got to pay so much for a piece of land, and then that individual has to now be burdened with approaching the commercial banks at the rates that they are giving, interest rates, which they don't flex, by the way. We'll deal with that with the governor when he comes on, the governor of Bank of Ghana. But they don't flex their rates. And in many cases, sometimes, maybe that's one of the reasons why you find people have difficulties building, because their employment history might have been a little bit, jerky. So they're denied a loan. And even if it is that they do get the loan, they're saddled with a hefty bill afterwards. So they on the one side, they got to find at least half of this money that you're charging them up front to have any consideration. And then I believe they're given like a 6-month period afterwards to pay the balance. In the meantime, they got to find a whole lot of money. So there's different agencies. In some cases, they're complaining that some of those financial institutions, they may give you one tranche, which is to build a foundation, and they decide that you can't get no more loans.
Right. So
as opposed to when we would have started the housing drive in Guyana decades ago, and I would have learned that it was then in the early 70s. One of the things that was done is that the government used its resources, as you talked about, subsidizing, build the structures, and people who rent where they were not in arrears, they were then presented with transport or titles for those lands.
Well, that is one of the solutions that the government is also working on. What the minister calls rent to own. So you pay a rent, whatever is the rate, and after a period, the space becomes yours. I'd like to quote something the minister said when we were in Region 7 last September, I think it was, when she was discussing the whole issue of the youth, the age at which, the minimum age requirement, and somebody made a point about opening it up to people from the age of 18 now is opening a can of worms, because we already have a large amount of persons still to be served, and we're going to now increase it by 10,000 plus. And this was her response. That's what the government is for. A government is to help find solutions for the people's problems. Housing is one, and the government will find a solution. So whatever you throw here, I'm quoting my minister, the government is going to find the solutions. It will include, again, government's resources, private partnerships.
By the way, no. The people's resources.
People's resources.
The people pay the taxes. The government manages the resources of the people.
Very well. The nation's resources will be used to find solutions to the people's problems. And so all these solutions, these are housing solutions as we call them, are being developed to speed up, enhance the government's provision of affordable housing for the citizens.
Mr. Remington Nelson, I thank you kindly for, at least at very short notice, spending some time in the hot seat today. I certainly hope it wasn't too hot, and I certainly hope I could get, as the personal assistant to the minister, a commitment that she will be here on Tuesday. Particularly to address those areas that you did identify is not within your purview to do so. But yes, it was certainly fun having you on today.
Glad to have been here. She did commit that she's going to be here.
All right. And once again, thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thank you.
You just heard Mr. Remington Nelson of the Ministry of Communities on Hot Seat today. And that brings us to the end of another edition of Hot Seat. It's going to be back with you on Tuesday. Remember, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Hot Seat right here on your Midday Mix.